Today is January 20th. I haven't done a summary for Ethan in a little bit. We spent the last few weeks really trying to get him to do spin, or really emphasize spin. It's on the forehand side. The biggest problem, the reason I really started to emphasize spin on him, that's like the very top thing, was because in his motion, go show position 1, 2, 3, go through the stroke like you're hitting this way. All right, like you're hitting over that direction. All right, was at the bottom part. He could go nice and slow, like this bottom part right there. He just could not do it. He could not do this bottom part motion. He could not get it in that position. He would take the racket back too high. Go. He would take it back way too high. Go. He would take it back super high. Show us wrong. Really high, but even more than that. So he just would not get it down. So it was just a chronic problem. So then focus on just making half spin, use a squishy ball so that he could see the forward roll on the ball, had him hit with his dad. That was just the main emphasis. Worked on getting his position 1 down lower. So now he's able to control how high he gets it back. He's able to produce spin. It's moderate spin. He can't really produce a lot of spin. But he's got forward roll on the ball. Sometimes he does make some decent spin. The windshield wiper type motion, trying to get him to also to just emphasizing that so that he can create more spin. The problem, the big thing with him is that he holds the racket too stiff on the forehand side. He just holds the wrist part is too tight. His hand grip is a little bit too tight, so he doesn't have any flex on it. So there is no natural. If he has the stroke, the motion from here to here, and he had a loose wrist, he'd be able to make spin. The ball would spin on its own. But because he doesn't, and his wrist is tight, right? He can't have that loose snap sort of sensation. So have to break it down to like windshield wiper type motion stuff, which is, not necessary. For him. So, and necessary for him right now. Backhand side, biggest problem is he doesn't get keep the tip up. The table is too high. He has a lot more power though on his backhand though than he has on his forehand. We did a little thing where had him hit like 5 balls on his backhand side and just told him to rip it, and then told him pay attention to how it feels, the way it feels when he swings, and then we quickly fed him like 2 or 3 forehands immediately after he went through the series of 5, and I just told him try and feel the same thing. And also try to teach him about on the forehand side to let him flex his wrist. With the butt cap, we'll end up pointing towards the ball a little bit longer. This is a little bit tricky with him, but I think he was able to do it a little bit. The problem, like he has that most people have when you emphasize this part, is that the wrist lag, the wrist flex, they do it before they start the forward motion instead of having it as a result of the forward motion. So on his serve is still the motion. You see just stiff arm on the serve, but what he worked on today for his serve is go ahead, do the serve motion. Sure. Like you're shooting this way, all right? Like you're shooting, okay? All right, so what he thinks about, which he didn't do it right there, what he thinks about what? All right? Squeezing that, go up there, show me what that means. All right, because we're trying to make a circle, so he thinks about squeezing this. Now, we're going to get rid of that as he gets better, right? Because we wanted him to make this circular motion behind here. We really want him to learn to make it with the hand fairly stationary and the circular motion happening, the arm supinates. But right now, we're really emphasizing a full arm, full structure circle almost, just to help him get it in the right position. Also talked about elbow lag. See right there, he didn't have any kind of the elbow didn't go up first. His hand tends to go up, so he tends to stiff arm it straight up in one piece, like from the trophy position turns into this just one straight arm as he swings up, instead of the elbow coming up first and the hand lagging behind, the racket head lagging behind. So he's able to do the motion, shadow the motion, but he has just a lot of trouble with it when he has to actually serve and toss. So I tossed for him today. He had a couple that he actually has to do a little bit of lag, so we'll keep working on that. All right? So we'll see you next time.